dark road at night or strolling through the...
Hello everybody, SirMonkeySuit or Zappy here, back with code Geass. We're on episode 19 right now. In the last episode, yet again, it seems like, you know what I mean, the Black Knights are sort of trying to make them move on their specific targets of the Britannian Empire. This one's just so happens to be on like a fucking island that is sort of in international waters, so there's a good chance for them to attack. Specifically because there wouldn't be much backup if shit went sour. So, yeah. So Euphemia and her new appointed knight, which is Suzaku, went to that island to see a relative. I think that's what it was for. And basically the whole point was to capture Suzaku and the Lancelot. That was the whole point. And they almost got there. But while Suzaku was like trapped in this fucking this like sort of like little EMP field or whatever that shut down his Lancelot, he was there with Zero or Lelouch, and the Britannian Empire like ordered surface missiles on them both, killing both Suzaku and Zero, basically putting it down as like, oh, it's alright, you just keep them there, your sacrifice will be heroic and shit like that. And when the shit was about to hit the fan, a massive fucking airship rolled in. Apparently, I think it's Schneisel, who came down and he fucking, I don't know, for some reason, instead of waiting for the missiles to fucking drop, I guess the missiles were ordered by Cornelia, possibly. Airship rolls in, and he wants to go take the kill, I guess. Because I guess they're fighting for, like, you know, who wants to be emperor and whatnot, all the children, so, you know what I mean, I guess if he gets that kill, that's a big fucking get for him, so he comes in, he sets off his, he goes to set off his, like, I don't know what you would call them, like, fucking, like, lasers, fucking, towards that AMP field where they both are, and then it all pretty much kicks off. It's fucking, we've got, like, Lelouch, who says that, like, he didn't really want to be using his Geass on Suzaku, but he's forced to at the end, and then, it basically cut off with one of the worst cliffhangers I've ever fucking experienced. Hated it, but, you know, it doesn't matter, because we're here now. Yeah, so the last thing that the thing that I picked up on actually last episode was Lloyd came in to the school, right, when they were all having like a party around Suzaku being the knight and whatever. Lloyd came in to come get Suzaku. He found Nina, right, and then they were talking about like fucking science shit and whatnot. And I think the only reason it leaked that Euphemia and Suzaku would be going to the island was because he told Nina about it, right? Now, I'm kind of suspicious now. I'm wondering if Lloyd is actually like a spy or a traitor to the Britannian Empire. Because of that. I think it's possible. Because he seems like very, I mean, well, it's Lloyd, isn't it? He's very nonchalant about things anyway. And this being no different, even though it's a big, like, it's a big deal. I don't know, it's just, I feel like he could be. So I'm going to keep an eye out. I'm going to keep a lookout for him. I'm going to see what he's up to from now on. So yeah, I don't think there's anything else to talk about, so we're just going to get in episode 19, so let's go. How did he get there then?
Where's the Lancelot? It's no use. I can't remember anything.
How did they get out of there?
Where am I?
What? Hello everybody, just a reminder that if you go into the description and go to my Patreon and get the early access for just $5 a month, you can get access to 4 Code Geass videos every single week, as opposed to the general public that only gets 2. So yeah, so you get 4 as well as getting it a week early. So yeah, if you're clamoring for more Code Geass reactions, then that is the place to be. So yeah, down in the description, Patreon, early access, $5 a month. On with the video.
Just as I thought. This is another island.
The vegetation and climate are the same as Shikina Island. We can't be that far from it.
Colin.
Oh shit.
Suzaku.
A Black Knight uniform.
Oh
You mean
shit!
you're a-
Oh no! Oh my god! Oh god! I can't show that again.
Colin Stockfeld, I don't believe it. You're
Don't
one of
call me by that name. Colin Kozuki's my real name. I'm Japanese.
placing you under arrest for conspiracy and rebellion against Britannia.
Oh my god! Oh my god!
When my people get here, you're the one who'll be a prisoner.
You mean Zero will come to save you?
Without a doubt.
Isn't masking one's identity a bigger fraud? I'm curious.
This standoff again.
Lelouch. Lelouch, it's you, isn't it?
What? How did she know
I
that?
haven't told anyone about you, I swear. Let me at least see your face.
I guess, I mean, she had some things. She had, like...
Lelouch.
Why couldn't she behave the way a sub-viceroy figurehead is expected to?
You told me to gather data before practical application, correct?
Because I'm extremely interested in whatever you create. I needed to see if this could be made real. I've been looking forward to meeting you, Miss Cecile Krumi. I am...
Prince Schneisel, right here?
It is Schneisel. Okay.
Yes, I'm Prince Schneisel El Britannia. Please, give me your hand. Now, my Lady Cecile, if you'll excuse me.
Your Highness.
Farewell.
You can wait for me at the base, Cecile.
Please wait. Were those orders yesterday issued by the prince?
Silence! You do not want to be in contempt of royalty, do you?
Those orders were mine, Miss Cecile. I also fired the Hadron. Besides, if something anomalous happened, we would have still been able to rescue him. That's what I gambled on. It's my fault for not protecting my subordinates. Can you ever forgive me?
Wait, so he did order the missiles then? I don't understand why.
When did you
I
figure
don't
it
know.
out? Even so, why didn't you discuss it with Cornelia?
I didn't because my sister never listens to me. Besides that, I think things are depressing enough as they are. Nonali, how is she?
She's living with me, but she's still blind and crippled.
The hatred you must feel for us.
Do you know anything about the circumstance in which my mother was murdered?
I'm sorry. It seems my sisters investigated it extensively, though. Cornelia thought a lot of Lady Marianne and really looked up to her. Are you Zero? Or are you...
I'm Lelouch. Yeah. Right here and now I'm Lelouch, the brother that you know, Yuffie.
Lelouch?
Even using L ever.
Why don't you let me help you with that?
Manual labor is for a royal princess. Don't worry.
It's like Stockholm syndrome.
Can't remain in this area any longer. The risk is too great. We should pull out of here.
Ogie, I disagree. We ought to at least stay put and look for Zero.
There's no guarantee Zero and Colin are still alive.
This entire organization is built around Zero.
It's not a group without members.
We have followers of almost every ideology under the sun gathered here. Yet, how is it that the whole lot of them can cooperate and work together toward the same goal? Who is it that gets us those results?
I'll be the first to admit that he does.
At times, the life of a single man is worth more than those of a million. I thought that would be common sense to a soldier.
Okay, how about this? We hang in a safe zone, an ocean area just out of detection range where we can wait until the end of tomorrow. How does that sound for a time limit?
All right.
Well, I suppose we have no choice.
You sent Colin to the island? You have very poor taste for being such an imperious observer.
I'm sure you'll be able to make your pitfall track tomorrow.
Ugh, I can't eat another bite. Boy, am I stuffed.
Colin, leave the Black Knights. It's not too late.
Thought you weren't so bad, and then you showed your true colors. Well, that won't work. I happen to be the captain of Zero's elite guard.
Using Zero's methods offers no future.
And what about your future, then? To just live the life of a conqueror's subjugated lapdog, an honorary Britannian?
I am not you. The world is wrong, and I'm trying to change it. If I don't, my brother's death will have been for nothing.
Colin, the truth is, I killed my father. My father didn't commit suicide.
Long ago, we all used to gaze up at the stars together. Wouldn't it be wonderful if we could live like that again? I'd be so happy then.
Yes, you're right. It would be so good to just go back to how things were.
Some things are more important than your life, you know.
It isn't that I want you to give up.
Then explain something. What higher purpose did the death of my brother serve? Who gets to sit in judgment? Who decides whether it's right or wrong?
And this must be what you mentioned?
Yes, we uncovered it when the Shinjuku incident occurred.
Yes, I can see why this would have attracted Clovis's interest.
Are you sure you really saw a light?
Yeah, I'm positive.
Once we learn who it is, we'll know how to deal with them.
Deal with them?
I'm afraid archaeology isn't my strong suit, especially this paranormal stuff.
My father is infatuated with this as well.
What is
Isn't
this?
that right, Bartley?
Yes, we found artifacts similar to these in a number of places around the world. This is mere speculation on my part, but I think the real reason we're invading other countries is to obtain these objects.
I think it was right around here.
Lelouch, if it is a search party, then will our time be over here?
Yes, it will. I'm such an undependable knight, I couldn't even capture you any food. Mind if I ask you, why choose an honorary Britannian?
Well,
I guess Yuffie doesn't... Gonna say that I don't think Yuffie
What are
knows
those two doing together?
that,
Suzaku!
Princess Euphemia!
Don't move!
Oh my
This
god!
girl is my prisoner. You find my actions cowardly? Eliminate terrorists no matter what the sacrifice.
Leave him alone! Shut up, you royal puppet. You're useless. You
Oh,
can't think for yourself or do anything on your own.
What? I'm not a Suzaku. I command you to fight!
Your Highness!
With pleasure!
You hard-headed fool!
What? Artifact! Oh my god! Figured when they were talking about paranormal stuff, there must be to do with the Geass and that. Oh my god, what is it?
Kururugi. And is that Zero?
That's a nightmare over there.
Perfect! We'll use that! Let's go!
Right.
What was that?
This is good.
What?
Not only unmanned, but activated too. What kind of nightmare is this? It's my lucky day.
Schneisel.
Schneisel! Schneisel! Next time!
Oh my god. Dude, that mech is sweet. What's it called?
Disappear.
Oh shit, it's the same. Oh shit. They can fly? Oh my god!
Oh, Schneisel, I've missed you.
Dear Yuffie, I'm sorry it took us so long.
What was...
No, it's all right.
Your Highness.
What was
shall we keep to
Suzaku
the
looking
schedule?
at?
Oh.
You're under arrest for violation of military regulations.
What?
What's the meaning of this? Major Kururugi's my knight. You can't do...
This is something I can take care of later.
We'll rendezvous with them out at sea.
Right. And one other thing. The Gorin Mark II?
It was recovered. You may thank Asahina and Chiba for that. Forgive me. I never intended to use the power on you, but...
So what did he do then?
Live!
Can he do that? Ah, oh, nice. Okay. That was sweet.
Who cares about them? No
That's
idea
why,
how you
then.
got out of the Lancelot. But you blew a golden opportunity to put an end to Zero in order to save your own life, according to this.
Really, me?
This is nothing less than insubordination.
Kururugi did that?
Yes. The details are unknown.
The enemy has destroyed the Great Kanmon Bridge in Kyushu Block.
What?
They also cut off vehicle access at 4 other points, and large numbers of assault landing craft are moving into the
Oh
Genkai Sea.
shit.
The Chinese Federation?
No, Highness. The craft are bearing the flag of Japan.
What? What? Okay, episode 19. I really liked that episode. I thought it was like an interesting perspective, like having Lelouch and Euphemia sort of pair up, and then having Suzaku and Kallen. Because now it can further this sort of idea that, you know, if they're on opposite sides, that kind of it can put them like, it can give them like an idea as to kind of what they're going to do in the future. Like, I feel like obviously Lelouch would never kill Euphemia. I knew that he wouldn't after the first time. If he was going to kill her, he would have done it then, like when they were in the tower. You know, so, you know, it was nice having them together and like to have that moment. And having like Suzaku and and Kallen on the other side, and it's like I feel like every time Suzaku gets in a situation where like he's being told like, so like Suzaku will like have, I don't know, he'll have like Zero as a prisoner, or he has Kallen as a prisoner, or whatever like that, right? And he's trying to explain, like, you know what I mean, why what they're doing is wrong. They'll come back with something, and he'll like be not shut down, but like he'll be given an explanation as to why is it so bad that I'm fighting for my fighting for what I want to fight for versus what you're fighting for, you know what I mean? And he kind of just like gets he sort of like halts in his tracks. You know, but having those two be be each other's partners in this episode, as opposed to like having Suzaku and Euphemia and Zero and Lelouch and Kallen, allows them to have that sort of thing, so that later on, like when it comes to blows again, if those lot are there, you know what I mean, it kind of, it makes it a lot more personal, you know. I think the most interesting thing I kind of got out of that was what Euphemia will do, knowing all of this knowledge. Because even though beforehand she was like, she had an idea that it was Lelouch anyway, you know, I think now that it's sort of confirmed for her, she'll be a little put off by the ongoings that's going on, I think. You know, she was always sort of like the black sheep of the family anyway, like, while the other family members are sort of, you know, for Britannia and fucking like, do everything like fucking Britannia says, right? Order people to die, do that. Euphemia wouldn't do that. So I am very interested in like her character, especially from here on out. So yeah. So it doesn't explain why all of them couldn't remember anything. Like, I don't know how that, nah, I don't know. I'm pretty sure I didn't explain that. It didn't explain how they all ended up on this island, not knowing what happened. I understood how obviously the Lucian Suzaku got away because he ordered him to live, which is great, by the way. I love the fact that that's what he did. It's like, live. That's your order. Which is an interesting one because it's not like a direct order, and it's not like telling you to, like, it's not, you know, like telling somebody to live is like, it's like giving somebody advice to like don't trip. It's like, you know what I mean? Like you can't. It's not something that can like almost be helped. You know what I mean? Like, for example, right? If you are in a situation where you cannot get out of and you are going to die no matter what, right? And you order that person to live, like, you know what I mean? Like, they can't, surely they can't, like, overcome that death scenario. You know what I mean? So, it's just a weird order, isn't it? Whereas, like, if you order someone to go do something, it's like, yeah, that's possible. And this kind of comes back to the Death Note thing, like where in Death Note, where it's like, where you know you can write down like certain things for like somebody to do, as long as it's within the realm of possibility, they'll do it before like they die, right? But like the ones where he was given prisoners, like, and he said, "Oh, go to Paris in like the next hour or whatever like that," and it's impossible, so they just die of a heart attack, right? I feel like it's almost the same thing. It's like if you're ordering them to live, like, is that even in the realm of possibility? Like, you know what I mean? If they're in like a death scenario. You know what I mean? Because all it took there was to him to fight, like, get a stray fucking bullet or whatever, or explosive to kill Suzaku. It's like, right, well, that order didn't work. You know what I mean? It's but I get why he said it though. You know what I mean? Because if he orders him to live, then that puts the idea in Suzaku's head that, yeah, I'm not gonna sacrifice myself here. So I get why he did it. It's just, you know what I mean? It's not in line with the with like an order that. You know what it is? The more I'm thinking about it, like, I know it makes sense. It's just like, if it was in like a different situation, it's just an interesting one. But yeah. The thing I don't get is how Carlin got out of there, because she was on the floor, right? She wasn't in a mech. I'm pretty sure there's no way she would have been able to get back to a mech, so I don't know how she got out of there. I mean, the whole fucking place lit up with fucking explosions and shit. I don't know how Carlin got out of there. And I'm sure fucking Yuffie, like, she didn't manage to make it to there, right? I know she managed to make it like to the outskirts, but like, how did Euphemia get there? You know what I mean? I just don't know how. I can get why Suzaku and Lelouch would make it out and go there, but they somehow left the Lancelot and washed up ashore. And whatnot. It's strange. They didn't explain that, did they? They didn't explain how they got to the island or why they forgot everything. I don't know. But yeah. So like Colin's obviously fucking. She's been revealed. Lelouch's been revealed by Euphemia. And that's the thing, is like, it's Euphemia obviously doesn't know that Lelouch and Suzaku were like childhood friends, but that makes sense because obviously they would have known, like, Lelouch and Euphemia only would have known them while they were in the, like, you know, as a part of the Britannian Empire, like, you know, with their mother still alive and stuff. They would have never known each other after Lelouch got sent to Japan, right? So it makes sense, which is good because I don't know what Euphemia would have done. If Euphemia knew that Suzaku and Lelouch were childhood friends and whatnot, and knew this friendship, if Euphemia knows that Zero is Lelouch, would Euphemia tell Suzaku? I don't know. I don't know if she would, because then that is like... that. I just think that would be interesting, like what she would do in that situation. It was confirmed by Euphemia that Cornelia actually thought a lot of Lelouch's mother. Was it Marianne? Is that what her name was? And actually respected her a lot. And I feel like if that's coming from Euphemia, and as long as Cornelia is not like acting like she's a fucking, you know what I mean, she was like that, I guess, I feel like coming from Euphemia, it's like, that's a fact, it's true. So that basically takes away Cornelia as the person who, you see, because it all comes back to Clovis saying, oh, you want to talk about, you want to talk to Cornelia and Schneisel, right? Because both of them know more about her father's murder, or his. Fuck. I got them both wrong. I said her and father instead of his mother, God, man. So yeah, so that I mean, I don't want to say it completely eliminates Cornelia, like, free of anything, but the thing is the way Clovis said it wasn't like, oh, like, it wasn't Cornelia and Schneisel did it. It was talk to Cornelia and Schneisel because they know more about it. But the thing is, they both come across as, like, quite understanding people. You know what I mean? Cornelia and Schneisel both come across as, like, you know what I mean, as sort of, as quite understanding and not like evil. You know what I mean? And at the same time, neither did Clovis. It's such a weird feeling because, like, you know what I mean? Like, clearly they're not good people. Because they order the deaths of others, and Cornelia, like, says that, oh no, we to be part of the Britannian Empire is to essentially be racist, right? And they're fine with that, so they're not good people. But I get this feeling from them that they're understanding. You know what I mean? The thing that I need to know, the thing that I really want from Cornelia mostly, as of right now, because, like, we've had her in this show for quite a while now. Schneisel's just come into the picture, so I can wait a little on him. But I want to see what Cornelia does, or what she thinks, if she finds out that Zero is Lelouch. You see, it's such a tough one. It's such a tough one because Euphemia in this episode never mentioned, like, the idea, or doesn't hold any sort of angered feelings towards Lelouch for killing Clovis, right? Even though it kind of, like, I don't know, it's tough to even know if she should. I don't know, because here's the thing. I'm glad I picked up, like, in one of the very early episodes, like, was it episode 3, like, after he got shot or whatever? Or it might have been the episode he did, like, he did actually get shot. And I said in the post-discussion, like, that, like, I had mixed feelings about it, because yeah, while he ordered the deaths of like innocent people, you know what I mean, to try and weed out the fucking the rebels and whatnot, you know what I mean, that I feel like he's sort of been influenced by this whole Empire thing to do the Empire's bidding kind of thing, and I feel like underneath he still loved, like, Lelouch and whatnot. And you can tell that by later on by, like, the pictures that he painted and stuff of his family and things. So I was very mixed feelings about Lelouch killing him, right? And I feel like it's almost the same with, like, the more I watch this, the more I feel like the Emperor is the only dick, like the only true evil dick in this show. Everybody else lies on a grey sort of ideology. The only evil dick I feel like is actually the Emperor, and he's basically playing with the lives of his fucking children to fight, like, one another and shit. You know what I mean? He's using, like, their minds as, like, but then again, like, when you look at Schneisel or whatever like that, like, you see, like, he's got to have a good head on his shoulders. He's got to understand what's happening, right? But, like, when I look at him and I've seen him, like, talk to people here, and he seems to be very understanding. But then again, that could just be it could be a facade. People who are generally like that, sort of like straight-laced, kind of like have an underlying sort of dark side. You can kind of gauge that characteristic in a lot of characters in anime and stuff. So he could turn out to be that. The thing is that Nunnally was talking about Schneisel and the fact that, like, Schneisel is, like, you know, the one that can, like, that like I guess always overcame Lelouch's smarts. So yeah, I don't know. It's just that all of the main like sort of like family members, so the ones that like are in like have high powers, they have their own armies essentially. So like, you know, Cornelia, you could throw Yuffie in there. Clovis we didn't get enough of, but I get that like if he was in longer in the show it would be the same thing. And then Schneisel, they all seem to like, you know, be, I keep saying it, they seem to be all like understanding, even though they have like bad parts about them where they're like, you know, whether Cornelia is saying that we have to be fucking racist to people, you know what I mean, because that's what it means to be part of the Britannian Empire and whatever like that. And Schneisel saying, oh, like, you know what I mean, I was using like Suzaku as sort of like, but he wasn't really using him, he was sort of, you know, he was hoping, like basically betting on the fact that Suzaku would be able to get out of there. It's just, you know what I mean, it's very grey with everybody. The only one that seems to be a total dick is the Emperor. So I feel like this is what it's coming down to. Like he's using these children as a way to sort of, you know, to go and gain influence and fucking take over land and shit. All for these artifacts or whatever that are Geass related. So yeah. It's just what the fucking ones. I'm just really looking forward to the point where, and I hope it happens, like where Cornelia or like and Schneisel like get to see that it's actually Lelouch with Zero, because I want to get their perspective on it. You know what I mean? Because that, depending on what they do, will kind of, I feel like, or depending on what they say, will kind of give me a good gauge as to like how sort of good or evil on the scale they are. You know what I mean? And I think yeah, it'll definitely be interesting. But it all comes down to what the narration like at the start of the episode say, and that like Lelouch has but one or two options: make a peaceful life for Nunnally to live in, or go after his mother's murderer. And I just, damn, I want them both. I want him to be able to do both, you know, because the problem is with them saying that is that not a spoiler? You know what I mean? Like, I get that, like, you don't know which one he's going to go down on. Like, which route he'll actually take. But how would he make a peaceful life for Nunnally if he can't sort of go down this route of fight? Because I don't know. Oh, whatever. Been fucking ranted on for a bit, yeah. Yeah, so C2's talking to an observer. I know she's been doing this for a while. And I don't know. I just don't know. It's obviously somebody higher up in this sort of chain of... I say it's a chain. I don't even know what it is. It's sort of... give you a little tease this episode with the artifacts being Geass related, and it's sort of paranormal. I mean, I always knew that the Geass thing was like magic anyway. It's obviously supernatural. It's not normal. So, you know, I always knew like that was there, and this gives us like a little tease as to what it could be, like some ancient power or something. But Bartley explained that like that's probably why the Empire is invading these places, because they're all around the world, and it allows the Emperor to fucking get them all, essentially. So yeah, I did think when Lelouch did get the power at the start, and it was like talking about fucking Ragnarok or whatever. There was like imagery of like what it looked like where the Emperor stands. You know where he stands in that fucking like orange fucking like weird temple fucking like Greek Roman temple or whatever it is, like fucking massive pillar things. Like where he stands, I feel like they look the same. But I can't remember that far back to. I just remember it looked something similar to that, and I'm wondering if that has anything to do with it. Like if you gather all these artifacts in that one place, like maybe it fucking, I don't know. Because Ragnarok signifies the end of the world, you know what I mean? So if that's what it means to go down the path of him searching for his mother's killer, right? If that's where it ends, of like all these artifacts getting to that one place to like fucking unleash Ragnarok, it's the fucking end of the world. So that's what it could be. We'll have to see. The new Nightmare is fucking sweet, by the way. Even though if it is a test model, obviously he's got it now, so he can take it back and sort of work on it with Rockshada and stuff, which would be pretty cool. Because I like it, like black and gold, sweet color coordination there. Or color palette. So yeah, and the Chinese Federation's coming to fight. Although they all have Japanese flags on them, which is interesting considering like China and Japan have kind of always been at odds with each other. They've never really gotten along. So it's interesting to see this, and I'm wondering if, because it's sort of like a, I don't know how, like what, if this takes place, I guess it takes place in sort of like an alternate reality, I guess. But I don't know if like beforehand, before like the Britannian Empire that existed, if Japan and China were technically, they should have still been at each other's throats, at least back in like in real life past, right? I wonder if it was happening in this one, but it's sort of like maybe because the Britannian Empire became such a big sort of overwhelming force, it kind of maybe forced Japan and China to kind of have an alliance to overcome them, possibly, and that's what's happening here, where the Chinese Federation are kind of getting so kind of teaming up with the Japanese rebels to take down the Britannian Empire. So that's why there may be the I don't know if that, but you'd think they wouldn't go under the guise of the Japanese and just be like, no, fuck it, with the Chinese Federation coming at you. So I don't know. But yeah, I mean, whatever. That was a really cool episode. I did enjoy that. It's I love it when shows kind of I kind of liken it to when you're watching a show and like they have like certain like people direct like a one-off episode or whatever, and you can sort of like tell the like different stylistic choice that they go for and whatnot. I feel like this is like the same kind of thing, where you kind of have shows where they kind of like, there's one episode that kind of like does like something different to what the other ones are, and this is the episode where I kind of feel like it went a different direction kind of thing, and it's like it showed it from a like an interesting perspective. You know what I mean? I mean, this show anyway, like, I love the fact that they have so many different, I like calling them pieces, because it's like a chessboard, right? Like, that's what that's kind of what they like to liken this to, is chess. So like, I like how they have different pieces. So like, you're talking about, right, Lelouch is one piece, Euphemia is one, Cornelia is one, Schneisel will be one. You have the Japan Liberation Front, which I'm not sure is a thing anymore. I think that probably died off, and now just the Four Holy Swordsmen or whatever, or the Four Holy Swords just joined up with thingy. But you've got the Four Holy Swords, one of them. You have like the Kyoto lot and what, and I feel like when you have all these different pieces and you sort of like intermingle them, and they all have like, some of them have like personal sort of stories with each other, like Suzaku and Todo, and you know what I mean, and Euphemia and Lelouch and shit like that, and like they're all so close to each other, but they didn't really know like where they all stood on this war. You know what I mean? And now they're kind of figuring it out, and it's like, it's nice to see how people handle it when they know that people that they're close to or knew in the past or have personal relationships with, when they find out that they're like on different sides, and it's like, how do they handle it? You know what I mean? It's really interesting. They've done the show for like since it started. You know what I mean, with that whole thing. So I like the way that they do it, and even this episode is like even a divergence from that, and it's like an interesting. It's an interesting episode. I really liked it. So yeah, I really like that. So we're gonna move on to episode 20. Yes. Whew, that was a long one to spiel about. But I had to get it out because, you know, there's. I feel like the more I watch, the more I feel like it's just the Emperor fucking, like, you know, he is sort of a greedy fuck, and he's sort of using his fucking children, not as his own children or as his relatives, but like as just fucking, as pawns essentially, right? He's used them as tools, as a way to fucking further his own goal, instead of them being actually family. And I think because Lelouch had his own mother killed, you know, he's the only one that ever stood up to the Emperor, his dad, while the other ones didn't have anything sort of wrong happen in their lives, so they never had reason to kind of go after him. It's just an interesting sort of it's just an interesting show, isn't it? I really like it. It's so interesting. But yeah, that was all. Okay, so in the description below, I have links to certain things. One of them is the Discord. So if you're wanting me to react to a specific show in the future, then you want to go over to the Discord, because pools and things like that for the new shows will start over there. We also have Dungeons and Dragons. So if you're wanting to experience that, if you're completely like never played it before, or you're experienced, it's alright. We'll accept them all. We have karaoke, so if you like to sing and shit like that, you can do that. We have streams and stuff like that going on, so if you're interested in any of that, then you can join for that. And if you just want to come over and just chill and talk, then you can do, because I'm pretty much over there all the time, so you know what I mean, if you want to come chat and do that as well. Patreon. Early access is the big one. There's a bunch of different tiers, but early access tends to be the most sought after, which is $5 a month, and for that you get episodes a week early. Not only that, you actually get episodes, 4 episodes. So the general public only get 2 a week. You actually get 4 if you're an early access patron. So that's like 4 episodes of like Steins Gate, or even though that's coming to an end now. Haikyuu, even though that's coming to an end now. Tokyo Ghoul and Code Geass. And then every show that sort of precedes that will be exactly the same. So that's 16 episodes a week, 64 episodes a month, compared to like the 32 that the general public gets. So that's 32 episodes more that you get, and just for $5 a month. So if you're clamoring for more reactions from me, that is the place to go. I'm also doing Parasite. I am reacting to that right now. The only way you can watch that though while it's airing, my reaction to it, is if you're a $15 patron or higher. It's the exclusive patron tier while it's airing. But if you can't justify that price, don't worry. In 2.5 months' time, when I've actually finished watching it, then it'll be uploaded to YouTube for the general public, okay? So don't worry, like, you're going to be missing out. You're not going to be missing out, don't worry. It will get up there eventually. And the other ones, like, include, like, full length, so you can get full length to my reactions. We have the, like, elite tier, which means that you can, like, pay for, like, you can basically pay me $50 a month, and then I'll react to a show that you want. You can basically suggest a show, and I will react to that. It'll be put in the queue, and then I'll react to that eventually. Or you can go to the God tier, which is $100 a month, and for that, you can basically jump the queue and get your show basically reacted to pretty soon. So yeah, so you've got all of that if you want. And then for the fucking joke tier, we've got One Piece, which is $10,000. Because I just do whatever I want to react to it, but I just put it there for a joke. So, you know, if you want me to react to that, it's going to cost you quite a bit, because it's a lot of fucking episodes, and that, Jesus, like, you'd be talking years and years I'll be on that. But yeah, that is all for Patreon. And finally, in the description below, I have my PO box address, so if you do want to send me anything at all, you can do with that address. I will open up it all on video, and it'll be a nice little thing to react to, a nice little addition to the video. If you don't want me to open up on video though, just make sure you tell me with the package. So yeah, if you don't want to send me anything, the address is in the description below. And that is all. So thank you everyone for watching. I'll see you next time.